What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to take a quick look at the Norinco M14, or the M305B. I'll start it off right now. There's a lot of down talk about these rifles. A lot of people say, how dare a Chinese manufacturer produce an M14? And honestly, I want to say they did okay with it. So we'll go over the rifle real quick, just features, things like that, everything you know with an M14, quality. I'll show you the trigger pull, just things like that, things you're used to with the videos that I make. So we'll get started. Going over the stock, when you're looking at a rifle like this, you got to understand it is Chinese quality control. So what I mean by that is, you see this big scratch right here? These blemishes? These all came on the rifle right out of the packaging. Now they ship them in some pretty heavy-duty grease, so if you ever want to store this rifle away for 30 or 40 years, go for it. But yeah, they come with certain blemishes. Now, my mindset behind this is when Norinco is producing these firearms, they don't look at things like this to pass quality control. Now, something like Springfield, they'd see a scratch and I'm like, no, send it back. With Norinco, the way they do it is they fire the weapon, it fires, it cycles, it's accurate, perfect. Put it in a box and ship it out. So, when it comes to the look of the rifle, it's not the prettiest looking. Like, you can see the machining marks. Overall finish, I guess you could say, is not the greatest, but the rifle itself is an excellent working rifle. I've never had an issue with it, and I've got about 350 rounds through it now. Most of it is just the Norinco 7.62x5.1. I do have several boxes of soft points through it and some XM80C. So, in terms of reliability, 100%. It works. I pull the trigger, it goes bang, it cycles. It also works perfect with these 10-round magazines. If you live in Canada, you get these AIA 10-round magazines, 100%. So you got 10 rounds, 5 rounds, Canadian law, the usual. So going over the rifle, aside from that, it's a very smooth working rifle. It works just fine. Everything's fit properly. It does what it's supposed to do. You can change things if you so choose, but right now I've just left it factory. This isn't a gun I really want to do a lot of work on. Now moving on, it does have a chrome line barrel. This is the long version, so it's got the 22-inch barrel. You can get the shorty, which has an 18.5. So you do have options. If I had to come up with complaints for this rifle, I've got probably two. One is this guy right here, which basically holds the short stroke piston in place. This backs out after a while. You really have to reef on that to get it tight, which is a little bit of an annoyance, but you get over it. Second complaint I have is the way the mag release is. It's very gritty. Like I've cleaned this rifle a couple times, but it just feels like there's sand and dirt in there to release that magazine. So I don't know what that's all about. But, you win some, you lose some. It's a $400 gun. Now, mind you, the price has gone up a little bit. They are a little bit more expensive now because of the way the dollar is right now. But you win some, you lose some, right? Overall, though, it's an amazing gun. So let me, I'm going to pull this out of the way here. I'm going to show you guys the trigger on this bad boy. So. Okay. Ow! Another thing I don't really like, including with the M1 Grands, is the safety. Yeah, I don't like the idea of having to stick my finger in the trigger guard to. Okay. Now I'm gonna set the camera down. I'll show you guys the reset. Okay, sorry about that. It's a good trigger. For a Chinese gun, it is a good trigger. So, general opinion, with the rifle like this, it was designed and made in China. Not designed, but it was made in China. Now, a lot of people don't understand this and don't realize this. These guys were made with all the old US tooling. So when the United States switched from their M14s, they sold all the tooling and equipment to China. So it's technically still a US made rifle, but with Chinese quality control. So take it for what it is. Now, my general opinion on Norinco, they produce working firearms. They're not generally the prettiest to look at, but honestly, they work. I've had a Type 97, I've had this, and I've also had a their SIG 226 clone, all of which have worked fine. Now, I sold the Type 97 for an AR-15, and I sold the pistol for a real SIG, but this one here is a keeper. And if you really want, you can put it in one of those Archangel stocks and really spice it up if you so choose. There's a lot of courses and clinics out there with people how to upgrade and modify this rifle. You can learn a lot of very interesting stuff, so that's something to keep in mind as well with a rifle like this. So the bottom line is it worth the money? In my opinion, yes. For the price you pay for this, compared to what you'd pay for like a Springfield, which is usually around $2,000+ in Canada, yeah, this is definitely worth it if you want an M14. I can promise you, when you take this out of the box, clean it up, fire it, it's going to work. You know, it's got your standard Garand peep sights, same action, and honestly, nothing beats the sound of this action when it racks. That just sounds awesome. So that's the gun. This is kind of just a short look. I'm not really going too in-depth with this thing. I mean, there's a million reviews on them. I just figured I'd do something with it. Another quick question before I close the video out is people ask how it cycles with soft point ammunition or hunting loads. These are 150 grain 308s. They seem to work just fine. Some people say don't use 308. I've got 3 boxes through it, no issues. They say don't use anything above 150 grains because it'll overpower the piston. Like something like 180 grain or 168. I don't know. A lot of people say don't use above 150. A lot of people say don't use above 168. I don't know. I've only ever fired up to 150 grains, so I can't comment on this because these are 147s here. But I mean, it works. If a 180 grain overpowers the piston and somebody knows about it, please tell me. But I've never had an issue with it. It really is a great gun. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna close the video out here. This is kind of just a quickie. Yeah, get it? Quickie. So, I hope you just got a quick little look at this gun. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time.